Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. I'm going to try my hand at making another video if people don't start their chainsaws and different things running, because it's like the fall. They're cleaning up in the fall. A lot of people behind me and everything. But anyway, I'm going to give a little disclaimer on this video so nobody, if anybody wants to flip me off or get upset, I'm going to say a disclaimer right off the bat. This video is not about bashing anybody because they were in any drug and alcohol rehab. As a matter of fact, if they turn their life around, God bless them. That's not the point. I mean, this is not bashing and doing down anybody. But I'm saying that how some of them will talk about in TV and all that, about the stigma about them. Some of them, not all of them, are assholes, and they'll talk that stuff. You get a few of them, and when they say that, it's a smokescreen for their own issues that they have, their bias against somebody else, because maybe they think you're high and mighty or something, and already judging you because how they feel about themselves, and they like to twist that. Well, that would be one of the ones, if before offending anybody that was ever in drug and alcohol, which I never was, I'd be saying that I'm talking about maybe it might be that dude or trick or something, maybe like my cousin who would get you in trouble that you'd want to avoid, to be nice about it. But alright, I'm going to talk about this because not to be down on anybody. I had a cousin that unfortunately ruined his life or whatever the hell, and but we all have people like that. But I'm going to talk about how I was in certain jobs on assignment. Okay, if you ever were in Western, or lived before in Western Pennsylvania, or live in Western Pennsylvania like I do now, you'll know that sometimes there were pretty fancy jobs going on for a while, and then all of a sudden, poof, you're either laid off or the company closes and you're doing some smaller jobs for a while, give or take. So my point that I was one of those for a while in my 20s, but then I found myself in these jobs on assignment, which I made pretty decent money for assignment. They say you show up for each job, they'll give you pretty decent, the agencies. You do it through an app, but then they call you too after you sign into the office. But anyway, industrial work, sometimes they'll put you on company, sometimes you don't. But anyway, I did that kind of work on assignment, and what this video is about is how you figure out later, nothing against it, but you get a couple of job assignments, they give you a job description, you're going to be in a factory with a couple different people. You'll be in a place here and there once in a while that they hired a lot of drug and alcohol, like affirmative action hires for drug and alcohol. Some of them were nice people, and actually most of them are. Not here to bash them, not at all. But to tell you the story about how some of them are assholes, and some people don't want to hear this. Maybe instead of being offended, you'll agree with me that you were next to ones that were an asshole. But now I'm going to talk about particular ones that happens to be females. Like there was cliques in there, a lot of them were females, and there were some different people, black and white, on this side. You'd be in they do different things in a particular job. Sometimes it'll last a couple weeks, month, on to another one, and they paid me pretty good. But when you encounter certain people, you get in conversations with people, and they're not, what I'm talking about here is somebody of that nature, mostly females, how they get. And if you want to compare them, how the females among these ones might act like almost like that, maybe your buddy's ex-wife or something. You compare them to your buddy's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or something, or somebody you went to school with, ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, how they have a tendency to act. They're nice to you one minute, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, oh, major bitch. This is kind of like a story here. But anyway, to make this not a long-ass video, yeah, whether you're a dude or a chick don't matter, but this one was a woman, and there was other women in the clique, and she happened to be maybe the darling of the group, which in a situation you got to handle things pretty well. If they decided to get in a pissy mood and be a bitch, if you're a male looking at this video, you will see right away I want to tell you how to not react. And how I didn't react, because among females, And this one's the darling of the group, no different than somebody you went to school with, some chicks. You know, you get a bunch of chicks sitting there, this one's the darling of the group, they get in a pissy mood. You say something in a wrong tone, you're automatically the aggressor, even though in front of all her friends. Because of being the darling of the group, you're automatically the asshole. That's how. I'm not even being down on women, but some people among females. But anyway, I worked with these dudes for a while, and then this woman, she was pretty cool. We're talking about music, talking about all kind of stuff, doing the work, and she used to be like, she was the one that, claims, she put on her facade like she likes everybody, and her clique, the darling of the group. And, oh yeah, you're going to help me do this or that or whatever, you know, and I'm bouncing between different kind of people that the bigger boss would tell you do these things for a while or you get called up. And we're in conversation like everybody else, talking about music, different things, and in a job, and about her personality. And during this time, the personality, she was very laid back, would be like, when you ask them, how do you want to do this or that? Oh, no problem, and even be calling you sweetie or whatever the heck. Oh, you know, because she'd be calling other girls sweetie or honey or whatever the heck it would be. Oh, nice, and every morning when you're working there, all starry-eyed, smile. Oh, good morning, how you doing? No different than some dude. Hey, what's up? Nice as pie. Yeah, very likable, really cool. And then all of a sudden, okay, here's where I'm getting to the thing where how, just because some of them are assholes, not all of them. I didn't know till later it comes up and there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of them, you find out that they're all, they don't even act like it per se, but you have no problem with their affirmative action drug and alcohol rehab thing. But my point is where it turns. You know, first we're talking about music conversation. They look like they kind of like you. You're pretty cool. They're glad you're working with them, and they're talking how great you were doing. You're making their job easier. But as soon as later on, time wears on, like days or whatever, a week, and you know about you're getting a conversation of other things, music and everything is great. The conversation, it gets ugly all of a sudden with this woman when in conversation, you know. Well, so where are you from? You AA or UNA or you know drug and alcohol thing? She asked me, and I go, well, no, you know, I'm just agency, and I was just, you know, doing different jobs or whatever, and just like I told you before, I'm from one job or another because of what I used to be, and I'm this agency. That's it. And that's the reason why I am here. But now I'm thinking that she's probably mad because maybe in a way that was mostly for them, and if you're not one of them, they put one that's not one of us, or you know, like it's anyway. Right as soon as I say, well, no, she goes and with a more toothy smile and all that, and like, I don't know, I detected sarcasm, like a compliment. She goes, oh, wow, good for you, and she's all smiling, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm imagining things, but I've seen some kind of, look like a pissed off look in her eyes, and she was smiling at me like, toothy, not like they're trying to hide it, like the toothy is actually a toothy smile, like they're congratulating you, a little bit of sarcasm, but the toothiness in the smile is almost like they're gritting their teeth, they're trying to hide the fact that they're gritting their teeth and look pissed off. And I found out it wasn't in my imagination. Then all of a sudden, just like that, instead of when she used to be congratulating me how I made her job easier, oh yeah, you're with me anytime. I do it better than so-and-so, you know, and I'm better than people that came in here. You know, compliment me, not like she's no boss or anything, but said, yeah, I'm better than anybody else you got to be with. All of a sudden, just because I said that I wasn't from rehab, I just answered her question. Not only that look I told you about, and all of a sudden, from being congratulating me about the job and all that, she started getting real ignorant as far as the job was and saying, oh, can you help me do this and this? This is how we do it here. And she goes all sarcastically with this tone. She's going all, you're capable of that, right? You know how it'd be like your buddy's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend does, and hoping you would say something or say, and they'd be hoping that you say, "What's wrong with you? What's up with you?" So that they can go off on you. You know how so your buddies, your ex-coworker, you got that maybe dude you work with, his ex-wife, they do that shit, and comedians make fun of that shit, like Dane Cook and certain black comedians, white comedians. So if you're black or white watching this, right? And I'm not even saying in this video they're all like that. I met ones that were like that. And I don't know if she thought I was being all high and mighty. I thought I was shit. But, and again, what was I supposed to do? All of a sudden, I disrespected this person because I wasn't drug or alcohol. They don't say it. They're treating you like it's almost like a fuck you posture. All of a sudden, not saying. They might as well say, well, fuck you right to your face, even though they're not saying that. They started all of a sudden getting real pissy about the job instead of, oh yeah, whatever you can find. They're, getting real nasty when they're asking you about something, like almost like they don't want to work with you anymore, and getting nasty, hoping you'll say something. And for example, if I would say, oh, what's up with you? What's your problem? Even a polite way, for example, I would see right away she'd be going off on me like your buddy's ex-wife. And maybe a couple of you guys watching, right? Maybe you might have just outright said, hey, what the hell is your problem? And you might have been ready to fight. And I would say to you, dumb idea. Don't do that with females. I didn't even do that shit with my own mother. My own mother, she'd be great in a lot of ways. Years ago, when I used to still talk to her, but she would get in a pissy mood, whether it was me or my stepdad, and would be like, do or say shit, waiting for you to say something. So I'm like, in my mind, I was like, oh, whoa, excuse me. I didn't know that I was actually supposed to maybe pretend like I was in AA or some kind of shit like that. I don't know, maybe as a joke, I'm joking about this, I'm being sarcastic about this. Maybe one of you guys watching, if you encountered this, there might have been a couple of you out there that might have say you weren't in AA, you smoked a joint or drink once in a while and never been in a rehab. If any of you guys would have just lied to her and for the sake of thinking you're going to get laid or some damn shit. Not that I'm going Howard Stern on you, or not that I'm going Howard Stern on anybody that's females that are watching this. I says I'm not apologizing from the video, but I'm saying a disclaimer. Not everybody is all like that. Not all females are like this. Not all females that were in AA are like this. But there was an element. I'm just saying they're not all assholes, but if you ever wound up in job assignments or places that, because your agency sent you there, you didn't know, they didn't outright tell you, and you find it out later, that some of them, for example, hired a lot of affirmative action hires that were in AA. Nothing wrong with that. I met a lot of good ones. I met a few of them that were in prison. I didn't know, and they were really nice people. They told me, I'm like, damn, really articulate, did something stupid. No problem with it, but my thing is that I might have been in a thing where the whole clique was, and you get a little passive aggression, you know what I'm saying, and in so many words, they find out you're not. Oh, what the fuck's he doing there? All of a sudden, they don't like you as a person. Like, it's to end this video. It's just like I said. I wanted to title it like, "Oh, excuse me, I disrespected you because I'm not drug and alcohol rehab." I mean, it's not about saying they're all like that. There's people like this that actually have that chip, and like it or not, if this offends anybody. And like I said, I put a disclaimer to the outright as my power. Oh, and one more thing, by the way, if I would have put one of you dudes watching, and it was on my mind that I'd say you were in the position that I told you that I was, but say you were in the position and pretending I was a dude you were working with, and I observed what I told you going down, and this was you. The way they were acting nice at all first, I would probably say to you, oh man, she probably likes you. You could probably date her if you smoke like you were some people I work with that smoke or whatever, or that I don't or whatever. Oh yeah, you'd be like one of them, probably dating her, and you'd be getting together money to buy a pack of cigarettes, after you paid your bill. And then I see that going down, and say that was you instead of me. I'd be like, I would be going to you and say, oh, damn, that's a drastic change. What the hell is her problem? Without saying it in front of her, and I'd say to you privately, I'm like, or if I don't go and say it to you privately, I'd be like looking at you, maybe like right by here, seeing it go down, and I'd be like, I'd be behind her back or something, and looking like, you know what I'm saying?